Doing Time with the Darlands. So it is Sunday, June 9th, 2019. It is actually Mike and I's 14th anniversary today. So we thought today would be a great day to do our YouTube intro. So here we go. So I'm Beck. I'm wifey. I'm mommy. I'm boss's wifey. I am 40 years old. I was born July 25th, 1978. I'm Colorado native. I work at Allison Care Center. I've been a certified nursing assistant for like 22 years. I've currently worked at my job for 11 years, and I do love like the people I take care of. So that's what I do for a living. I'm actually currently like pretty much a stay-at-home mom. Mike has made it to where I can stay home Monday through Friday. I just work Saturday and Sunday, like a 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. shift. And that's really just so I can get a little break from the kids and have a little play money for us. So that's a little about me.
I'm Mike. A lot of people know me as MD. I'm 49. I was born April 29th, 1970. Means I'm a tourist because we kick ass. I'm a heavy equipment mechanic. I work for Martin Marietta. Spec Ag. I work at a mine up in Golden, Colorado. I too am a Colorado native. We are very, very rare out here in our own states. My job at Martin Marietta is when it's possible for Beck to be a stay-at-home mom. Prior to that, we struggled, but it was always good times. Whether we had $1 or $100 in our pocket, it's always been a good time. But after I started the job at Martin, our life just totally flipped over. And it's been awesome since. We still have our days, or not our months when we struggle, because I'm always telling Beck and the kids, money's gonna come and it's gonna go. We're gonna have good months and bad months. We have a cheat sheet.
Our little footnotes, so forgive us, but
I chew. You're going to see this in our videos a lot. I chew. This is my spit cup right here.
Copenhagen long cut.
Beck smokes. We don't drink. We don't do drugs.
We drink maybe a 6-pack of beer will last us in this house about 3 months. Is what that's how often
Really longer than that.
Yeah.
It's just, I was raised, my parents were both alcoholics. It goes as deep as my uncles, my grandpa, everybody. There's a lot of drug use in my family. So I was either gonna grow up doing it or hating it. And I grew up hating it. How we met? We're allowed to say the F-bomb? Because I tell everybody the same.
Yes,
every time people tell me or ask me,
Yeah.
how'd you two met?
Yeah.
How'd you two meet? I'm just always honest and I say, we met on a fuck line.
We did.
When our kids asked us a couple summers ago,
Our
that's the
teenagers.
response we gave to because that's how we met.
It's the truth.
It was.
We met
Go
on
ahead.
Live Links on January 12th of 2004. We got married June 9th of 2005. Mike and I have definitely this awesome, unique love story that we want to share, and we feel like if our children find someone that they love half as much as we love each other, like they're going to be very lucky. So we wanted to tell you, first of all, which is going to kind of lead us into like our life story together, why we named our channel Doin' Time with the Darlands. Obviously, we're Rebecca and Mike Darland. And let Mike tell you why we named it Doin' Time with the Darlands.
I got locked up for the first time when I was 11 years old. And as an adult, I've spent almost 17 years locked up. I've been home now for a little over 4 years after a 12-and-a-half-year bit. And it wasn't until this last bit when finally the light went off and I just got it. Everything made sense to me one day. I asked myself the question, what was it all for? A lot of it was just my lifestyle, a lot of the friends that I kept, A lot of good dudes just led to bad places. Beck met me when I was right at my high points, and it was all getting ready to come down. She didn't know it, but the hunt was
I had no idea.
The hunt was already on for me, and you know, it is what it is. And the day I got busted, which was on my birthday,
in 2004.
In 2004.
So we'd been together 4 months on his
That's
birthday.
when everything came crashing down, and that's when our ride really started.
I got a phone call on his birthday. Mike and I had concert tickets that night.
To Oriole Speedwagon.
Yes, in Loveland. We were gonna ride the bike up there. United States Marshal.
Because they
asked
through
me
rats,
they
found where I was, which I really wasn't even trying to hide all that much. So it was really just a matter of time. Like I said, I knew I was already hot. I knew they were onto me. You just get burned out on running. You know, you'll duck and dodge for a while, and then you're just waiting. You just want to get it over with. I really didn't plan on it to come down that night on my birthday because it was a great day. But again, it is what it is. She chose to stick by. And so she did. But you know, in the beginning, I told her, I said, she needed to live her own life. And I tell everybody exactly what I told her. I told her she has needs that I can't satisfy. So through that long ride, she hooked up with somebody. And again, it is what it is.
Like 5 years into
She
Mike
had-
being in prison.
She had a little boy, which is our son now, Junior. Best kid ever. She was doing what she was supposed to be doing. Because I don't know any man or woman that should put their life on hold for a dummy. That would be me. Who's incarcerated. It's fine if you want to stand by him and love him or her. Keep the home front nailed down or whatnot. But hey, who's going to lay dormant for over a decade? So she lived her life, and I was real open with my family. It was basically, you're going to accept her, accept Junior, or fuck you. So now where I'm at, the only family I have is right here, and her dad. Love her dad, Joe. You'll probably see videos of him throughout all this. He's just an old cowboy. This is my life right now. I have no regrets about any of the things with my family. Don't care, because my family is right here.
I got to tell you about the day Mike did get busted. So when the United States Marshals called me, they asked if I knew where my boyfriend was. Well, at the time, he was kind of hanging out with one of my friends' brothers and was repoing cars with him, you know, legally repoing cars, you know, just helping him out because he had a business. I didn't even know they were talking about Mike. I thought they were talking about this other guy. I went and told Mike, what the hell's going on? He said, I'll be right back, and went around to move his bike into the garage. And I had put my slippers on. We had our oldest son right now, Leif, who's gonna be 19 next month, but he was 3 at the time. I was like, gosh, it's taking Mike a while. And I remember putting my slippers on, my blue fuzzy slippers. And as I'm putting like my slippers on, I see like 6 cop cars like fly by. And I'm like, gosh, he's taking a long time. Well, when I walked outside, they had already had him in handcuffs and wouldn't let me kiss him goodbye. I didn't even know that he was wanted for robbing banks. I, of course, had to be interviewed by the United States Marshals and FBI, and of course threatened to, you know, harboring a fugitive. I knew, which I truly, truly did not. And that's when it began. I remember going to see Mike the very first time. after getting locked up, and that was probably one of probably the hardest times of seeing him in all the years of seeing him and visiting him locked up. Like, I remember seeing him, and he was in
Washington County.
Akron, Colorado, in Washington County, Akron, Colorado, and I went to see him. And I remember seeing him. I've never been in a jail, never been in prison, jail, anything until Mike, of course. So thanks for those experiences. Those are life experiences, right? But I remember he was all, you know, in his orange, and of course it's behind a window, and it hurt so bad because we were so in love and couldn't touch, couldn't kiss, you know what I mean? And the look in his eyes, I knew he didn't mean to hurt me. I knew how much he loved me. He would just tears streaming. It was a pretty intense, incredible moment, and
because I remember after the visit, I don't remember her name, but it was one of the cops there, one of the jailers. She was super cool, because you know, a lot of cats are gonna hold their shit in, and I get it, because they were locked up, whether it's county, the pen, doesn't matter. And it was a fucked up visit. And so afterwards she asked me if I wanted to stay back 10-15 minutes after the visit, try to, you know, let the swelling go down. And I remember I told her, I was like, I give a fuck what anybody says when I get back. And nobody said nothing to me. You know, the buddies I had in there, you know, came up to me and said, hey man, you cool? And no, I'm not. But you know, what could I do? Nothing. So you're gonna hear all about that. We talk about it a lot.
Mike got sentenced to 12 and a half years.
And it wasn't until I was like 5 years to the door when it all finally hit me one day. Up until that point, I still had not that I was setting out to come out and get in trouble again, but I was gonna come out. I wanted to be with my old crew again, and just because it's the only life I knew. I've always worked, but I've always had my crew.
Like you said, it's the whole brotherhood thing. Which I'm sure a lot of people can understand. I mean, whether it is brotherhood in a gang or in the Marines or, you know what I mean, whatever kind of brotherhood, especially when you don't have close family ties that you're lacking, you need.
And so I remember that day. And I remember I sent a bunch of emails out and called a couple of my dudes and told them my heart's not in it no more. My love and respect for all of them is always going to be there. Always. Best group of guys ever. But my heart wasn't in it. My love and respect will always be there, but I was just done. I don't know what hit me that day, but everything from the time I was 11 to that point just hit me. And I have moments now when I try to think back to then. Why did I do some of the things I did? Just everything, and I can't wrap my head around it. But it's just where I was from an early age, obviously. And
Mike's not going to share who exactly, like what group of people he's talking about, but how do you want to put it? Put it out there some way.
Who I rode with?
Just because people are
it's just,
well, who are you talking about?
It's just something I don't talk about. One, because it's on a video.
A group of folks.
But a righteous big group of folks. But we'll get into this later, but I do speeches. And even then, if I'm recording, I won't talk about it just because it's not my life anymore. And really because I just can't. I mean, when people really truly get to know me, everybody of course knows who it is, but I don't put it out here I can't put it on our channel just
There's
because
certain lines
I'm not going to sit here and say I'd be killed if I did. I'm not trying to say that, but there's still lines I can't cross. It's a part of my past.
Respect is huge with us, huge.
Believe me, it's not because of embarrassment. It's just the rules of the game.
Respect.
That's all it is. So
So that's the gist of
You're going to learn all
Mike
about
did
it.
12 years in Leavenworth, Kansas. He was kind of all over till then. He was in Florence for a long time, and Oregon, and
Oklahoma.
And ended up finishing
In Leavenworth. I did my last 6.5 years in Leavenworth.
I truly believe that God has given. I'm very religious. I'm a true believer in God. I'm a woman of God. I truly believe that Mike and I have had this huge, hard road in life and has been given that as like a gift to share with others. We have an incredible marriage, an incredible strong love between us and bond, and Mike and I have been through more than anybody else I know, truly. So me as a mom, as a woman, I love to record all of our family trips. I love to record, there's been, since I've started recording, a lot of times that I'm so glad I caught that on video. And I have found like a big interest in editing, and I think it's neat and fun, and I think it's memories. Really our ultimate goal though is that Mike and I would love to start our own business as far as like an inspirational, motivational speaking business. Mike has a lot to offer as far as helping, guiding youth and heading down the wrong path. Mike was asked, he was invited to give a speech at Metro State University. In fact, I'll include the link down below. But that tells more about his views and experiences in crime and punishment is what it was. It was a class of 37 criminal majors. And actually, Junior and I were able to attend. Mike's parole officer, Shelley, went. Mike's parole officer, Shelley, also thinks he's on a great, role with the speaking thing. She's trying to get him into the prisons is ultimately what he'd like to do to really help, some younger people, and kind of hard because Mike's still on paper. Mike's still on parole. But ultimately, we would love for Mike to explode as far as his speaking. He's very well spoken and has a lot of stories and a lot of crazy stories, a lot of funny stories, a lot of hard stories.
And even
I
though
do as well.
In these videos, because this is where I'm loose, how I speak is different than what you're going to see here. So that's why the video.
We do have foul mouths.
I do.
I
use fuck like a comma.
We do, yeah.
And there might be some of you out there that think, wow, this guy cusses in front of his kids. You're damn right I do.
We don't.
It's how I was raised.
We don't do drugs. We don't do.
It's how my whole life has been. I don't sit here and tell my kids, now look, you say fuck every word. They know better.
We are very honest with our children.
It's no different than when I was little. If I had to drop the F-bomb, I'm going to get the hell slapped out of me. So it's not like that. But yeah, I do, because it's just who I am. I'm not going to try to alter who I am for a video for anybody. A lot of my views, and they'll come down the road. Not everyone's going to...
Mike wants to do a few rants that will...
just... My biggest things right now in life is our Section 8. It sickens me. And that'll be down the road. And there's going to be some that think, man, I'm with you. And then there's going to be those that are going to say, well, look here, you son of a bitch. And hey, I'll take it all. I take the good with the bad. You may not like how I speak. You might not like how my wife speaks. You may not like our family. You may not like our views. You may not like how we do things. And all I can say is, I don't care. You're free to shut it off. Go find
or keep watching, because we
exactly.
want you to watch.
But
we have nothing to hide.
We're not the cleavers.
Again, we only show you what we want to show you. You know
exactly.
what I mean? That we want to share. So, but as far as
we're very outspoken.
Family, yeah, we don't have anything.
I don't
hide,
lie.
so.
I don't bullshit. And I don't sugarcoat. Especially with my kids, I don't. Everything they ever ask me, whether it's about now or my past, I give it to them straight.
In fact, you want to tell them about kids, or do you want me to?
Yeah.
You do kids.
Are you ready? Okay, my oldest is 28.
Daughter.
My daughter. She's in a bad way right now, but it is what it is. I think every bad part of me went into her. I'm not saying that in a bad sense. It's what it is. She's been in and out of prison. She's just trying to figure it out like I did. And when I was her age, I was already out of prison once. There was nothing anyone was going to tell me. And so she's going to figure it out. And then we have my oldest daughter, or my second oldest, Danielle. She's my hoss. She is. You'll see her.
You brute.
She's a mini me, which sucks, because I know what woman wants to be a mini me. She's me with hair. But, you know, her and I's relationship is awesome. You know, I missed all my kids growing up, because I was either running with my crew or I was locked up. You know, and it was easy for me to justify back then because that's how fucked up I was. But nonetheless, even when she was little, and understand, Danielle was the one I had the most time with ever out of all my kids before coming home this time. She had me up until she was 4. And none of my kids ever got that. I don't know if that's why we're maybe the closest out of all the kids, as far as my older kids, or because she's just so much like me. Okay, and then there's Leif, her son, my stepson. We're going to explain this once for stepsons and stepdaughter, then it's just going to hear our kids, because I never look at any of the boys.
Mine, yours, they're ours.
But right now, just so you get an understanding, that's how we're going to let you know. Leif, he's in town right now. He's here visiting. He's a big fucker. He's 6'5".
He's going to be 19 next month.
A couple years ago, he was heading down a hard road, doing some stupid shit, and me and his dad, James, which is one of my best friends, which is, yes, her ex-husband, but he's my fucking dude. I love this dude. It's just, we clicked from day one, and it's just, it is what it is. Anyway, he's doing real good now. Graduated, now he's working. He's awesome. And then there's Michael, my son. He's 16. You know me and Michael?
Looks just like Dad.
Yeah, he does.
Handsome boy like that. Mm-hmm.
He's
gonna be tall too. He's gonna be probably taller than Mike.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't see him a lot. When we're together, we talk up a storm. You know, essentially that's what I did to him. I abandoned him. Whether it was because I got locked up, it doesn't matter. You know, he was 18 months old when I got locked up. And his mom had she had a lot of men in and out of his lives. So the trust issue was huge. Because I get it. I had the same shit. You know, the man who I look as my dad didn't come into my life until I was 15. And by 15, my road was already carved. His mom drags him around a lot. They've lived everywhere from here to Missouri to Arizona to Oregon. I really won't never get into exes or other family. I won't do that. Okay. And then there's Junior. You're going to see him. He's in the back room right now. He's probably the smartest, most awesomest 9-year-old you're ever going to meet. He's going to be 10 in September. I mean, he still has moments of doing dumb kid shit. He did it today. But ultimately, he's the best.
He is.
He's the most responsible 9-year-old you're ever going to meet. He's super smart. And then there's Mia. Oh, you're going to meet this little one. Mia is Mia Faith. When I came home, we always talked about having one more. And when we first met, my daughter was almost 4. So she never got the tiny little girl, you know, like most women want.
And Leif and Danielle are 2-8 because they're both 18 right now. And Danielle will be 19 in February. Or no, I'm sorry. Danielle turned 19.
Turned 19 in February.
She's just barely older. So she just turned 19 in February. Leif's going to be 19 in July. Peas and carrots, and have been since they first met when they were like 3 years old. I have pictures of Mike's mom and I sitting outside the prison in Florence, Colorado with Leif and Danielle when they were like 4, and giggling it out. Yeah, peas and carrots. So our teenagers have always, brother and sister, very tight. They, hi fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fam from the get.
They're
Soulmate
awesome.
fam.
But back to Mia. When I got home, we decided to have one more, and there's no such thing as, well, it's just a good time or bad time. I mean, I'm not sitting there trying to tell young kids out there, man, just have it now. Fuck it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying when you're an adult, and when I come home, yeah, we were struggling because I just come home, but there's not a good time or bad time.
We were both getting older,
and that's what I told Beck. I said, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it now.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give you your girl. I said, I will give you a girl.
Understand that when Mike was in prison, I would draw him pictures of what, like, our little girl would look like, which was pretty much, like, pictures that would pretty much be comparable to what Danielle looked like, because, you know, Mike's pretty dominant in his kids, and the way, you know, his kids really took after him, so we thought she'd be a little Danielle, you know, with dark hair, dark eyes, another Danielle.
And that's a big negative. She came out blonde hair, blue eyes. And I always make jokes to everybody that it's God's way of punishing us. He said, okay, you two old people want to have one more? I got one for you. Because ooh-wee. She is a handful.
Because she's going to be 3 next month.
Next month.
Just a couple weeks there. So.
And I was 44. Well, no, 45. And so, and she was stubborn from day one, right down to birth. She was late. Beck was induced for 3 days, hard 3 days. And then during the delivery, she stopped, just stopped. Was no danger, she just stopped. She was stubborn from day one, but she is just the most beautiful child you're gonna see. And it's awesome for me because she's the only one out of all my kids that I've been with since day one. And she's going to have me till the end. But as far as time spent, I've never been away from me. There was 2 nights when I helped her dad move up to Hotchkiss, I was gone for 2 days. And I think, and then when me and Michael went and seen Grandpa last summer, which was a couple days. But we don't never go anywhere without each other. We try to do everything as a family. But
we were away from each other for too long.
And now the job I have, I work a lot of hours. I leave here about 7:30 in the morning. I don't get home till 7:30, 8, 9, 10, sometimes 1 in the morning. Because I work at a mine. You know, going into it, my line of work as a heavy equipment mechanic.
You're going to see the mine. I have a video of the mine.
Heavy equipment mechanics, if you're out there, you know, it's the hours we keep, you know, and that's why you hear a lot of wives always make the joke, my husband really does exist, when she's telling everybody about him, because we work a lot of hours. But the beautiful thing about me being up at the mine, before I was always in the field doing mobile service, and I was all over Colorado. I am 9 minutes from the plant, from our house right here. So I'm always right there because I can be home in 9 minutes. I'm still gone all those hours, but
God forbid the truck breaks down on
anything,
me or something.
I'm there, and so that's really nice. But she's always accepted what I do. It's all I know how to do. It's all I've ever done.
It's hot. I think it's sexy. The whole big. You'll see it in the.
It's just that's all of. It's the only thing I was ever good at. It's the only thing that ever made sense to me. I've never been to school for it. I got into it at a young age, and
wrenching or crime. So we had to pick.
Exactly.
We had to make a choice what was
so
legal
luckily
and
I
what would
picked
keep
wrenching.
him home, and and still pay bills. So.
That's the rundown on our kids. But Mia Faith, her name says it all because she's what
my faith.
She's what sealed the deal. She's what completed our family. And of course she's the baby. And she is the most spoiled. The most. But the most beautiful little girl. And you're going to see lots of Mia Faith. You're going to see the good and the bad, because she can be a witch. A witch.
I witch.
Yep.
Witch. Mommy witch. Yeah, you learn.
So that's it for the kids.
So we have to tell you, along with every other dramatic thing in Mike and I's life and ways, and you know what I mean, our marriage and everything we've gone through. When I gave birth to Mia Faith, like Mike said, I was induced. They induced me on July 7th. She was born July 10th. Because I did have epidural and stuff. That was the worst birth I've ever given. I pushed and pushed and pushed, and I think I pushed for, she was born at 8:32 in the morning. I started pushing at, I believe it was 3:17 in the morning, and pushed till 8:32. After I had her, like I said, it was like 11:30, and Mike's trying to help me to the bathroom. Well, when I stood up off the bed, there was like a whole huge gush of blood, like all over the floor.
Can't even put it into words. She said, because I remember, she took back, she says, tell you what, why don't we sit back down? And I tell the story to everybody. It's a sucky story. But I remember the nurse, it was the most awesomest group of nurses and doctors ever. It was almost like out of a movie. Because the nurse got her back in bed and looked at me and Beck and said, listen, she said, I want you both to panic. She says, I'm going to call a code white. And she said, this room is going to fill up with a lot of people really quick. And wow, did it. Do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And so it was chaos. Immediately, we're down to the ER. And it was just...
I had hemorrhaged really bad. With all the Pitocin, my uterus didn't want to, like, retighten. Is that...
Yeah. And it was still going. That's what was pushing the blood out. And so...
You guys, this was, besides, like, my going away, the worst experience of my life. I truly thought I was going to die.
But what they were trying to do was put a balloon up in her, because there was so much blood, and every time the doctor would go to put it in, the way her bottles were acting with all the Pitocin just kept pushing it back out. And I remember there came a point, because Beck asked me to pray with her, and I remember at first I was like, no, because I seen it in her eyes. She was going. And I can remember looking over at this nurse. And what I remember, this nurse was sleeved out. And I remember thinking, I just remember zoning in on that. And I thought, okay, she's either super good and super cool, or who the fuck is this lady? But I just remember I looked at her and I said, save my fucking wife. And so they gave her a shot of, it was I don't know if it was a pain med, but it was a shot they gave her. And what had happened, it countered all the Pitocin in her body, and the bleeding like just stopped. That wasn't their intention of the shot. I don't remember what it was, but they were giving it to her for something, and it just happened to counter it. And so they got the bleeding stopped. She had to have 2 blood transfusions because of all the blood she lost. But it was the most scariest thing in my life.
Scariest thing in my life.
I don't
remember a whole lot. I'll tell you what I remember. I remember like Mike said with the, nurse, it was like, I'm going to call a bunch of people in, I don't want you to freak out. I remember like them whisking me down on like the gurney with my hand, like holding Mike, and I'm crying because I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I had no idea. Like, I just knew obviously something's wrong. Like, this is like the worst nightmare, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I have this brand new daughter, like, that I'd waited 12 and a half years for, and it was scary. And really, the next thing I remember, the next thing I remember is like asking Mike to pray with me, and that, please, dear God, give me the strength. And then I remember, like, I just want to give up. I was just so tired. I was just tired. Oh my gosh, I was tired. Like, and they were pushing on my stomach, and I mean pushing, oh my gosh, I was in so much. And I remember like leaning up and cussing, you know what I mean? Fuck, because it hurt so. One of the most painful things in my life, pressing on all the, you know, to get all the blood out. Mike said that was huge, like amounts of blood, and then really, other than that, I don't remember a whole lot else. Mike said that at one point in time, I had touched one of the nurses' butts. And he said it was really at an intense time where everybody kind of needed that. So, and told her, I guess I, you know, as I'm flailing around, whatever, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch your butt. I'm really not like that. You know what I mean? So that's funny, but thank you, God. I believe that God and my ring that Mike's mom had given me that I forgot before I gave birth to Mia, that Leif had brought me, and I believe it has the Lord's Prayer. This is a very important ring to me that Mike's mom gave to me before she passed away. I believe this played a factor. I believe God played the biggest factor. I believe my husband played the biggest factor. I believe the ring. I believe the team of doctors and nurses, and my will and strength to live. So, but that was it for our little girl's about to get out.
Yeah, we're hearing her stir, and we were trying to get this intro done before she wakes up, because it is almost nearly impossible to do anything when the monster is awake.
Yes. As far as comments, I'm always going to leave our comments on, good or bad. I will probably handle all the positive comments, all the negative, crappy, nasty comments. Mike is going to handle, so feel free to leave them. You know what I mean? He likes all that. Feel free to leave them. It's what it's about. So.
And all I ask people is be honest. Don't get belligerent, and don't take shit personal of things I say. Because if you do, and you're soft-skinned, this isn't the channel for you. And I'll tell you that right now. I think I'm the coolest, nicest, easiest cat anyone can talk to. And I know this for a fact. Because I know all the people that come to me. I know what kind of people and crowds I can attract. And it's because I give it straight. I don't judge nobody. Nobody. I have my opinions and I stand by them. I won't change them. I won't flip for no one or nothing. I have my beliefs and it's what it is. But I respect everyone. Respect in this family is huge. It's everything. Respect in our word is the only two things we have in our life. That's it, and that's what I teach my kids. And I bang it into them every day. If you don't have respect, you have nothing. And it's been kind of a shock coming home because the world has gone to shit. And I still battle with it even today. And I'm used to treating people a certain way and being treated a certain way. And what today's generation's doing and how people interact is in so many ways disgusting because respect has been lost. So, I want the comments. I just want your honesty. But if you get belligerent with me and just go on some ridiculous rant, I'm probably just going to, I'm probably going to get slick back with you, tell you fuck you, and that's going to be the end of it. But if you can come at me like a man, whether you're a man or a woman, come at me with respect, I'm going to come back at you with it.
Human
and even at the end of all the comments or our discussion, whatever, we may not agree with each other, but hopefully we see eye to eye, because that's all we can do. I won't bend for nobody, and I don't want no one to bend for me. There's a lot of things that go on in this world I don't agree with, but I get it, because I understand it. Same thing with me. There might be a lot of people that look at me and go, man, I don't agree with jack shit he says. Okay, but hopefully you'll get and understand who I am. And again, you may not agree, but you'll get to know who I am, and you'll understand why my views are that way. People look at me, and sometimes they assume, okay, or race. I don't give a damn about race. Don't give a fuck about it. Never have, never will. I've had my issues when I was in prison, but In prison, it's a different world in there. And I'm not going to lie and say I didn't have my moments with other races, because prison is not but politics.
You said a whole nother.
But when it comes here, man, I got friends that are black, Mexican, white, Asian. I got friends of all color, and it doesn't affect me like that. And I have some buddies that are proud white boys. Most people will know what that means, and I'm not saying they're skinheads or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they're proud white boys. But to
everybody should be proud of who they
everyone
are.
should be proud of their race. Everyone.
No matter what color.
But the minute somebody says it, whether I'm a proud black man, I'm brown pride or white pride, they say any of those things, they're labeled a racist, and I think that's so wrong. I teach my son, hey, you're half Mexican, half white. You need to be proud of both your heritages.
Right.
You have to be. That's what makes us us. So things like that, I'll talk about it, but it's not a big deal to me. My stuff is, like I said earlier, with Section 8, the way our government funding is, how we treat our military, our generation today. Those are my rants.
Big thing with how we treat our military. Yeah.
Because, man,
the
we as Americans,
opioid crisis,
drugs, all that. Those are the kind of rants I go on.
Yes.
But all the other stuff, you know, I might say something when someone calls me, man, you're a racist, and I'm probably just going to laugh at you, because that's being belligerent and ignorant, and obviously you're not listening to anything we have to say.
And then, since we are trying to get Mike out there, anybody that, once we have, enough subscribers, that kind of thing, Mike and I can do like a, call us and ask us questions, or like a live so that we can answer questions. If there's any parents out there like watching that, you think maybe Mike could talk to your son or need, we're trying to help everyone that we can. So time for us to get back, because I truly believe, I think you get like twice what you give, I think you get back, and I think we will. So anybody out there that would like Mike to come and speak, like I said, I'm going to include his link in his Metro State University speech. We would love for any invites to have Mike speak or just do a video. My videos are going to kind of be more about kind of kid stuff, nails, hair, girl stuff, things that we do, swim parks, eliches, vacations. So I like doing all that stuff. And with helping Mike try and get out there. So anybody that would love to hear Mike speak or have any interest, please let us know. Mike and I are gonna make Gmails for each of us, just specifically for our YouTube channel as far as questions, and let us know what kind of videos you want to see. I can do a bunch of cooking videos. I can do cleaning videos.
If you reach out to us, I'll talk to anybody, especially any of the kids that are parents whose kids are just not doing right. If you hit me with, well, my kid keeps sneaking out. Okay, that's not really a problem.
We would love for Mike to get into maybe some like youth group homes or like alternative schools. Shout out to like a Denver street school that is based here in Denver that has 2 campuses. I believe there's like 97 students total. But students that have come from a hard life and are continuing to live a hard life. Some of them are currently gang members, pregnant, that kind of thing. So these kids that Mike can really influence and maybe change around. And if you guys watch the video that Mike did at Metro State University, I wish I would have recorded the entire reaction of the students, the criminal majors that came up to him and gave him props afterward, but I didn't know it was going to be such an incredible feedback that he got, positive feedback. So, but there's quite a few comments in there saying, wow, you really inspired us, this and that. So welcome to our channel, and stay tuned for lots of fun videos and lots of interesting deep videos. And
I think we're a funny family. We can also be a boring family. We're
homebodies, but we do like to get out.
We're just real.
Play too.
That's what you get.
Yes. Because the struggle is real, Lord knows. But happy anniversary to husband and I. I have to tell you that this man is the best, not just the best man. He is, I've encountered, you know, being in nursing, you know, I've worked in nursing in 22 years and I've taken care of a million people and just, I've always been a people person. So he is the best human being in the entire world that I've ever met, seen, heard of, known. Mike is very confident in himself. Mike's a very rare man, so I'm so very proud to be married to my best friend and the best man in the world, and know that anybody else out there that's like going through something hard with husband or wife or times or incarcerated, you know what I mean? Like, so there's light at the end of our tunnel. There definitely was. So we'll do a video on our worst time down. Our worst time down. So, and let us know if you guys want to, you know, certain videos. Let us know what interests you guys and what you want to see from us. So, okay, baby girl's gonna be getting up. Mommy's ready for a cigarette.
Hope you enjoy it.
Enjoy our journey with us, and we can't wait to blow up and make our own company and own our own lake and mountain and all that. We got big dreams and big goals, and they're going to be accomplished, so together. So faith does not make things easy. Faith makes things possible. So, okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.